2005 Mastercraft XStar. This video is a long time coming. We have done a ton to this boat to get it ready to hit the water and be something that's going to be reliable for a family, look a lot better than it did when it came in, and just be repaired properly and perform as best as it possibly can. But a better question would probably be, what haven't we done to this boat? 05 XStar is one of the first, I think 04 was the first year for the pickle fork bow in the XStar, if I remember correctly. So pickle fork bow on this, it's in red metallic on the front here with a black hull and white interior deck. Sharp boat. We've done a lot cosmetically to get this thing looking the way it does now. And I'll kind of start with the black here. This is vinyl. The metal flake on the underside is kind of, and you'll see a little bit of it right here, but I don't know what the term for it is, but you'll see kind of this silver in it. I don't know what caused it, but it looked like just a water line in the metal flake the full length of the boat. And towards the back, it's much worse than what it was in the front. There's really no cost-effective way of repairing that. So we went ahead and did this matte black wrap on the entire 3/4 of the boat, wrapping around the transom here. And we've put the newer style Mastercraft XStar graphics on here in red, and it's like a flat red and looks really sharp. But as you can see, flat finish on that looks really sharp. The vinyl isn't perfect, but it looks a heck of a lot better than it does underneath. And again, this trend kind of carries on into the interior. And these are measures we decided to take to make this thing look proper. But I think it turned out really well. It's sitting on a tandem axle Mastercraft trailer. We did new tires, new bearings. We did a brand new brake system on it. So it has disc brakes on both axles to make this thing safe to go down the road. It's fiberglass fenders. They're in good shape. Not perfect. Actually, you can see this metal flake on the top as well. There's a little bit of fading from where the old registration numbers used to be. So again, cosmetically, this thing's not going to be perfect. But we've done everything we can here at N3 to ensure this product we're putting out, again, is going to be reliable and enjoyable to use on the water. It does have a spare tire. You'll see the same thing on the starboard side in this metal flake, where there's going to be some fading in it. But I really like the way the vinyl wrap turned out. And if that thing ever gets beat up, you can peel it off and do whatever you want from there. It does have the 4-point factory tower, has a bimini top. It's got the clamping rotating board racks on there. It's got a tower light, a pair of Wet Sounds tower speakers, and it does folds forwards. It's not the easiest thing to fold in the world, but that will go down if need be. Let me go through my list here of items that we've touched up. So we had a leak from one of our brackets in the back that was leaking into the boat, a slow leak. So we've pulled that and resealed everything on the transom. We'll be replacing the Perfect Pass gauge as it's not working properly. The ballast system in here was kind of goof, so we stripped it and simplified it back to the stock system with bigger bags in the transom. So instead of having a kind of an overly complicated system in there, you've got the 3 ballast locations, 3 individual bags and 3 pumps to power it. We've gone through and we've cleaned bilge lines and pumps. Cleaned the bilge. We've installed a new transducer for the depth gauge. Ballast gauges, unfortunately, aren't reading accurately, but since we've replaced the tanks with the bags, it's a moot point anyways. Those won't really ever read accurately. On the transom, we do have gator step on the platform. And you'll see where it's starting to peel up a little bit around the outer edges. But the gator step's actually in pretty good shape. It's not all scratched up and beat up. And when I'm talking about our vinyl not being perfect, you'll see some spots where there's small air bubbles in it, but nothing major. Let's hop inside and I'll talk about the rest of these things. These action items, if you will, that we are addressed on this XStar. It's a 682-hour boat, so it's not low hours by any means, not high hours for the year, but this boat has been used. You do have a nice walkthrough on into the interior, and it is gator step, and you'll see it kind of is curling up on the edges, just like the transom or the platform. But before they switch to the foam, this rubber over time, you just see that. We've got an off-white interior with gray accents. One of the things that had happened to this interior is you'll see a little bit of it on the seat back. From the sun, the red had turned into a peach color, and no one wants a peach interior with their red XStar. So what we've done, and it's not perfect, but again, it looks pretty darn good, is this black, and you'll see along here the black, that used to be red, which then turned to peach, and we vinyl painted it black, and it actually looks pretty good. We've done that all throughout the interior, so we've gotten rid of all the faded red accents, and they're now black, just to make this thing look a little prettier. The carpet did not come with carpet. We found lightly used XStar carpet and put that in here. It snaps in and out. It's not perfect again, but it's going to be functional. You'd have like a little bit of a melt, if you will, on that spot there. The vinyl overall is in pretty good shape in terms of not having a lot of splits and tears in it. You've got one right here on that seat back, which is probably the most major thing you're going to see. On the back, some of the vinyl has a little bit of staining on it, which is pretty light. It's not super noticeable, but you can see. I don't know why this piece has sun faded more than the top pad, because I believe that's original as well. But this back seat is faded on the top. The vinyl's still nice and stretchy, so it's not like it's to the point where it's so dry it's cracking. We do have the ballast bags in here. They're a little wadded up right now, but they'll lay in there nicely when we do that. Boat does have a full bow and cockpit cover that snap on. We've got those stored here on the other side. But here's our 5.7 liter MCX engine. It's 350 horsepower, multi-port injection. And again, it's got 682 hours on it. Fully serviced, fresh impeller, fresh fluids, filters. We've rebuilt the whole transmission, V-drive, everything, to make sure this thing's running super smooth and reliably. But there's the full cover right here, and then again you got the bow and cockpit cover that I mentioned previously. If I can get really close onto this vinyl paint, you'll see like right in the seams where a little bit of the that peachy color shines through. Can't quite get in there perfect, but take a step back and again, good from afar, far from good. but we want to make these things look as nice as we can. We've got wraparound seating in here. In our back corner, we do have a subwoofer, Alpine sub. Storage that communicates into the back. I'm not going to open all these seats because they're kind of a pain to take in and out one-handed. With 6 Alpine speakers through the interior, along with that sub, and then the 2 speakers up top. Back center seat opens up down into the V-drive and the bilge. Split here, a couple small marks in the seat here, and a split there. We do have a little stain in our corner here, and you'll see this is pretty common on these early 2000s Mastercrafts, but where they stitch over time with people stepping on the seats, they start to split, but these are really small. They're not nearly as bad as I've seen in some boats. Cup holders down either side, and then we've got storage in the OB that runs all the way up into the bow. Got our amplifier mounted here on the right. If I can open that up, do have a spare prop in there. Step back before we move forwards. Again, you got the rotating clamping board racks, red bimini top. Glove box, you've got a CD player, AM/FM stereo, a couple chargers in there, and a nice deep storage compartment. And making our way over to the dash. Ballast gauges aren't completely accurate. I think out of all those, the belly will read, so it's still a tank. You've got tack and speedo. Engine pressure, or oil pressure, engine temp, perfect pass, voltage level, depth, and fuel. Everything else is ran off of these rocker switches. So you've got your tower lights, nav lights, bilge, blower, ballast pumps flip on and off over here. Does not have a heater, but there is a switch for it. Steering wheel. Steering is nice and smooth on this. And then over here you have a remote for the stereo. This tweeter mount has a little bit of discoloration on it. Nothing major. And if we step back, our driver's seat. Nice big driver's seat here. A little bit of that discoloration on the top, or it's kind of turned into a tan color. But no rips or tears anywhere on that. This is going to be a long-winded video because I want to try and remember everything we've done to it. But pickle fork bow has tons and tons of room up in the front. Flip open the windshield here. Does have a lock. But you got these really thick seat backs that are really comfy to sit in. And then these gull wing type doors that flip open to get to your storage compartments in the bow. Front seat opens up too. And then you'll see up in the bow more of this kind of peachy pink discoloration. I don't know how well this shows up on the video. You have a small split right there. XStar logo in the front. And cup holders, speakers, all that fun stuff. A lot of space up here. Let me go through my list here. There's so much stuff I wanted to make sure I hit on. But I can't stress it enough that we want to make every boat that we own and sell out of our dealership something that we're comfortable and proud to send down the road. So even when we take something in that's seen better days like this boat had, we're going to ensure that we make it look as nice as possible, and most importantly, make sure it's running great. All the mechanicals and electronics on the boat are working as they should, but also try and go the extra mile and make sure this thing looks sweet. And it's going to be something people are proud to take out on the water. and also not have to really address anything on their own. You do have this nice walk-through air dam too, which I didn't point out. There's probably things I missed. Definitely check out our listing with the full description and rundown. If you have any questions, give us a call here at N3 Boatworks at 317-845-9253. And thanks for watching.